Dramatic rescue yesterday evening.
Fire in Kentucky. I'm Dan Kampanen.
And I'm Hannah Wiegand, and this is your Public Eye News. "25-year-old Brittany Lynn Russell of Iron River has been charged with the felony murder of an infant. Police believe the infant was severely injured at a home in Iron River on June 24th and died June 27th. Judge C. Joseph Schwelder recognized Russell's personal bond and released her. The victim's mother was there when the arraignment was made and was visibly distraught. Detectives from the Calumet and Iron Mountain posts of the Michigan State Police will be assisting the Iron River Police Department in the case. 2 people on an iceberg in Middle Bay were rescued when the iceberg floated off 500 yards from the shore. They were surrounded by water. The fire department say the 2 became stranded just after 6:30 last night. The U.S. Coast Guard was able to launch an inflatable boat from an ice shelf where the victims were able to be loaded onto the safe boat. EMS personnel evaluated them and released them. The Marquette Fire Department would like to remind everyone that the icebergs are unreliable and could break at any time with the warm temperatures coming around. Everyone should stay off the ice.
A group opposing wolf hunting has filed a lawsuit in the Michigan Court of Claims to overturn the state's Scientific Wildlife and Fish Conservation Act. The group Keep Michigan Wolves Protected says in a release Thursday that the law violates the Michigan Constitution and contains language that could transfer decision-making authority on wildlife management to the Natural Resources Commission. The NRC supports hunting as a means of limiting conflict between wolves and people in the Upper Peninsula. Keep Michigan Wolves Protected Director Jill Fritz says the lawsuit is necessary even though a federal judge in December overturned the Obama administration's decision to drop wolves from the endangered species list in the Great Lakes region. Northern Michigan University held its 8th annual New Business Venture Competition. The competition is an opportunity for students to present a full business plan to win a lot of money. Businesses ranged from creating a cardboard world, importing cars to Malaysia, creating a winter biking arena, and even a reflective seatbelt. Over 20 proposals were made, but only 4 finalists were chosen. They were judged on their trade show presentation, which displayed their business, an elevator pitch, and then an extended proposal. Students presented the business plans to judges from the business world and had to discuss everything from the financing to the marketing. This year's winner was Hobby Car Malaysia, who took home over $2,500 in cash prizes and a consulting package worth over $7,000.
An agreement was signed in February with TNT's Cold Justice to help process and examine unprocessed rape kits. Chief James Tolbert said Thursday that 71 out of 250 kits that date back to 2003 have helped identify 6 suspects. The kits that were assembled by hospital staff contain biological evidence like DNA. Officials have been working to get them processed. Wausau authorities arrested 7 people on drug charges after chasing a suspect who crashed his car. Marathon County Sheriff's officials said investigators were watching what they believe was a drug trafficking house and tried to stop a car that was leaving the home on Wednesday. The man was arrested shortly after the chase. Officials found drugs in the car and searched the house where they found methamphetamine, heroin, marijuana, money, and prescription drugs, which led to the arrest of 6 others. And after the break, we will have your national and international news. Stay tuned.
This week on Media Meet, in 1965, President Lyndon Johnson asked Congress to support health protections for senior citizens. Today, 52 million people are covered by Medicare. I'm Bill Hart. We'll discuss the past and future of the program with elder law attorney and Medicare expert Paul Sturgill. 50 years of Medicare, this week on WNMU's Media Meet.
Welcome back. A mammoth fire broke out this morning in a Kentucky industrial park, sending plumes of thick smoke over the area as authorities worked to contain the damage. The blaze began shortly after 7 a.m. at the General Electric Appliance Park in Louisville. According to Mike Weimer of the city's emergency management agency, there were no injuries or reports of anyone trapped. Video showed the bright orange flames and smoke rising to the sky. The cause of the fire is currently unknown and went to at least 4 alarms. The park is large according to the GE website, so large that it can fit 34 football fields into one of its warehouse facilities. Critics of the framework of a deal to limit Iran's nuclear program says it doesn't go far enough. The goal now is to have a comprehensive agreement by June 30th. Mark Albert has the details from Washington.
The United States, together with our allies and partners, has reached a historic understanding with Iran.
Hours after an agreement on the framework of a deal to keep Iran from developing nuclear weapons, President Obama began trying to sell the plan to its skeptical ally, Israel. The president called Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu from Air Force One. Netanyahu said any deal would only threaten Israel's survival. Today, his spokesman said the agreement is a step in a very, very dangerous direction.
So what we have here is a deal that unfortunately gives legitimacy to Iran's nuclear program, and the sole purpose of that program is to get nuclear weapons.
This is the best option.
The framework calls for Iran to decrease its number of working uranium centrifuges from 19,000 to 6,000. Iran's stockpiles would be neutralized, and it opens all of the country's nuclear facilities to UN inspections. In return, crippling economic sanctions would be lifted after Iran proves compliance.
We now have a guaranteed access. If they don't provide it, the sanctions come back.
The president also called leaders of both parties to try to keep them from passing new sanctions or demanding congressional approval of the deal. Republican Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas remains skeptical.
The only acceptable deal would be Iran's nuclear disarmament.
The White House will begin briefing congressional leaders next week. Mark Albert, CBS News, Washington.
The Germanwings black box was found and investigated on Thursday by recovery teams that have spent days since March 24th on the mountainside of the French Alps. A statement was made by the BEA on Friday stating, quote, "The initial readout shows that the pilot in the cockpit used the autopilot to put the airplane into a descent towards an altitude of 100 feet. Then, on several occasions during the descent, the pilot modified the autopilot setting to increase the speed of the airplane in descent," end quote, it said. Evidence from the voice recorder have led investigators to believe Andres Lupus purposely brought down the plane, killing 150 passengers. Lab workers have isolated 150 DNA profiles. Lupus saw multiple doctors and feared he would lose his license because of his condition. Police in Kenya are still working to identify the 147 people, mostly students, killed in a terrorist attack on a college campus yesterday. CBS's Tina Krause has the latest from London.
Many who lost loved ones in the terror attack on a Kenyan university are inconsolable. Police are taking fingerprints from bodies to identify students who died Thursday when Al-Shabaab gunmen assaulted their campus. Authorities say the Somali terrorists planned their rampage carefully, striking while students were still asleep, taking hostages, and even targeting a site at the college where Christians had gone to pray. This student says he ran for his life and helped other students jump out of windows to escape. Witnesses say militants separated Muslims from non-Muslims and shot Christians on the spot. Authorities say the siege lasted about 13 hours and the attackers ended it when they detonated their suicide vests packed with explosives. Al-Shabaab fighters have vowed to punish Kenya for sending troops into Somalia to help destroy the terror group. Anger is building across Kenya, with residents demanding authorities do more to strengthen security. Tina Krause, CBS News.
Stay tuned because after the break, we'll have your weather and sports.
Sunday night was made for drama, starting with all new episodes of Call the Midwife and Mr. Selfridge.
Show them what we're made of.
Then,
England is ours.
The series premiere of the sensational new masterpiece, Wolf Hall.
We can't win, but we have to fight anyway.
Long live the king!
This will happen. I mean to have him.
You think you are the king?
Midwife, Selfridge, Wolf Hall. It all starts Sunday night at 8/7 Central, only on PBS.
And welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Alyssa Lambert here with your local weather. And yeah, so as you could see behind me in the Academic Mall, it was very sunny today. And in our current conditions, it is partly cloudy with a temperature of 25 and winds out of the north at 22 miles per hour, pressure at 30.10 inches and holding. And tonight we're looking at some snow flurries with a low of 22 degrees and winds out of the northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And tomorrow it will be partly sunny, but with some flurries with a high of 37 and winds out of the north at 20 miles per hour. Let's take a look around the UP. In Sault Ste. Marie, it is partly sunny with 29 degrees. Manistee, partly sunny with 30 degrees. And the rest of the UP is looking a little cloudy. Escanaba is at 30 degrees. Menominee is 34. Iron Mountain's at 31. Iron Woods at 26. Houghton's at 23. And back here in Marquette is 25 degrees and cloudy. Let's take a look at your week ahead. On Sunday, we can expect a high of 32, a low of 22, and partly cloudy skies. On Monday, we will also have partly cloudy skies with a high of 35 and a low of 24. And on Tuesday, we're expecting a high of 41, a low of 29, and partly cloudy skies. So, Chelsea, it looks like this better weather is here to stay. I hear someone else is here to stay.
Yes, the Wildcats got some great news today. NMU hockey coach Walt Kyle will continue to coach for at least the next 2 years after his contract was extended. NMU athletic director Forrest Carr made the announcement earlier today, saying he expects a strong team over the next few years. Kyle said, quote, "I truly believe these next few years are going to be the bright years of our program," end quote. Kyle's 13 seasons as head coach for the Wildcats left him with a 237, 224, 56 career record. Sarah Thomas, former Conference USA official, is on her way to be the NFL's first full-time female official, though an NFL spokesperson said the roster of officials is not yet complete. While Thomas was in the training program, she officiated as a line judge for preseason games. Thomas, who has been officiating since 1996, was en route to go through the training program earlier, but the 2012 pregnancy had her off the field for the season. Thomas said, quote, "I've never set out to be the first, and that hasn't changed. I do it because I love it," end quote. A 6th-round draft pick sent Tampa Bay Buccaneers safety Deshaun Goldson to the Washington Redskins. Goldson, who got his start with the 49ers, was signed to a $41 million contract with the Buccaneers in 2013, but didn't play as well as they had hoped. Goldson, who had only 151 tackles and 1 interception in his 2 seasons with the Bucs. Goldson has been fined 8 times since 2012, with fines over $250,000, more than any NFL player in that time frame. The Buccaneers replaced Goldson with former Chicago safety Chris Conte. So speaking of Buccaneers, I hear somebody in Wisconsin's getting a little buck wild.
Buck wild and buck naked. Authorities in Cross Lake, Wisconsin found a woman last night trying to rob a convenience store in nothing but, well, nothing. The naked woman entered the one-stop store and demanded the clerk open the cash drawer. Authorities say the woman then grabbed the clerk by her hair and told her to open the safe. The employee snuck out later when a customer opened the door. According to deputies, the woman asked to be taken to jail when the police arrived. Drema Setliff is being charged with robbery. In other naked news, she may have been wearing a seatbelt, but nothing else. Police in Des Moines, Iowa report a naked woman was behind the wheel of a car involved in an accident. Officers say the naked driver rear-ended another car that was stopped at a red light. The Des Moines Register reports that her passenger, a man, was only in shorts and shoes and took off running when the police arrived. When they caught up to him, he was booked on public intoxication. The charges against the woman are pending, and no one was seriously hurt in the crash.
Wow, that's wild.
That is wild. I don't understand. Is this like a new thing? Are you supposed to get arrested naked?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Maybe it was sparked because of all that heat wave we had yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
All that heat, huh? And now it's just gone.
Yeah,
Lovely UP weather. Well, that's all the time we have today here at Public Eye News. Be sure to tune in again on Monday.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.